Well, hello. Welcome to episode 30 of Matt Chat, friends. We are starting something new here tonight. I'm going to lift this camera just a little bit. And we are using some new software here, friends. So we are actually streaming simultaneously to YouTube and to Facebook now tonight. All right. We're just going to set our comments here so that I can see the comments. All right, friends. Welcome to episode 30 of Matt Chat. Tonight we are discussing, actually before I talk about what we're discussing, please do put hashtag live, hashtag shift your mind if you're watching live, and hashtag replay, hashtag shift your mind if you're watching the replay. I'm gonna try to invite some people on in the watch party here. Let's see if we can do that, friends. All right, friends. So today is episode 30, and I'm not sure how we can invite, doing this a different way here. But your comments will appear there, friends. Today on episode 30 of Matt Chat, we are talking about language and how your choice of language affects your life, affects things in your life, and affects things happening in your life. I am going to go to the other page here and see if we can invite. I don't know, friends. All right. Well, if you are here, please do comment and let me know that you're here so that I can respond to you, friends. I can see both comments on both streams. If you do comment there, remember hashtag live, hashtag shift your mind, hashtag replay, hashtag shift your mind. All right, friends, today we are talking about language and how the language that you use affects your life and affects what's happening in your life. So I think I've often talked about, and you may have heard me talking about affirmations. And when we talk about I am affirmations, we talk about a positive way and a negative way to say I am affirmations. So just because you're using those two powerful words, I am, doesn't mean that it's a positive affirmation that you're using. So I often use examples like if you're ill and you've been ill for a while, and you want to affirm being healthy, then the way to affirm that is I am healthy, or I am recovering, or I am making progress, rather than saying I am not sick. So there's a difference there. We want to make sure we're using positive words when we're using those affirmations and when we're moving to that positivity. So just because we're using that I am, if we put a negative in it or a not in it, then we're not really affirming that positive. And so I've often talked about that by way of the words and the language that we're using. But a lot of things have come my way over the last week in regard to language. I've seen a lot of things in regard to language. And my goodness, I just realized that my glasses were still on there too. So I've seen a lot of things in regard to language over the last few weeks. And one of them, it's a biggie for me, is anxiety. And when we talk about anxiety, often those of us who are experiencing anxiety will talk about it in a way that we're suffering. We're suffering from anxiety, or we're suffering from a panic attack, or we're struggling with anxiety at this point in time. And I encourage people to reframe the word anxiety to energy. And instead of saying I'm suffering with it or I'm struggling with it, reframe those words to say I'm experiencing energy, because really that's all it comes down to. It's an experience. It's an experience that's happening inside your body. And what is anxiety? It's energy. It's energy running through us. And most of us, when we start to feel like we're having what we call anxiety, we start to feel maybe the shakes or the nervous feelings in our hands, or maybe as kids, lots of kids that I coach and mentor will be experiencing an upset tummy, or feeling like they're going to throw up. And it's energy. What they're experiencing is energy in their bodies. And while we may be experiencing energy in different areas of our body, it's all the same energy. And we may be experiencing that energy in different ways too, and feeling it in different ways too, but it's all just energy. So what I encourage you to do, if you are experiencing nervousness or fear or anxiety, or what you may label as anxiety or as panic, I encourage you to relabel it and reframe it as energy and as experiencing energy. And reframe it in a way that allows you to move on, to take that energy and reharness that energy into something different in your life, and to also walk with the fear that comes with that anxiety and that energy. So if we're having anxiety over getting on the school bus, we can get up and say, I'm experiencing energy in my body today, and I know it's about getting on the school bus. And we can take that energy and we can know that that fear is there, and we can harness the energy and walk with the fear and still get on the school bus, even though the energy is in our body. And when we reframe it that way, we reframe things in our minds to let us move through with the fear, to let us experience the fear and let us move through. And we reframe it in such a way that it allows our mind to see it for what it really is and not overreact about it. Because most times when we tell ourselves that we're having anxiety, we're struggling with anxiety, it worsens it. Our mind starts to go at the very word of anxiety. Our mind takes that word and it puts it right in front of us, and it digs deep inside our body, and it says, okay, oh my God, here it is. And the panic sets in. Oh my God, here it is. It's the anxiety. Boom, it's here. And it sets into our bodies more than if we just say, I'm experiencing energy. Because when we're experiencing energy, energy could be anything. It could be in our bodies for any reason. And that allows us, when we say we're experiencing energy, it allows us to really go deep inside and really decide, what is this energy about? Really evaluate, what is this energy about? And then do something with the energy. Move forward in a positive way and do something with the energy, and do something although the energy is still there. And we call that experiencing the fear and walking with the fear. I'm just going to see if there's any comments here, friends. I think I did things a little different here, friends, so it's hard to see the comments, and I will change that up differently moving forward, friends. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about language. When I talk about what is your language telling people, what is your language telling the world? What is your language telling yourself? What are you telling the universe with your language? And it doesn't come down to just anxiety. You can look at that in all sorts of different ways. What is our language? What are we telling ourselves when we speak to ourselves in certain language? Like, I'm stuck here. This job is going to kill me. I'm going to die in this job. This job is killing me. I can't stand this job. What are we telling ourselves? What are we setting our body up for? What are we setting our mind up for when we talk to ourselves in that way? Even if we don't say those words out loud, even if we say them inside our heads, what are we telling ourselves? And I'll tell you, I've fallen into this trap too, friends, and been called out on it by a fellow coach. And sometimes we don't even realize that that's the language that we have, and that's the language we're telling ourselves, because we don't say it out loud. We're saying it inside our heads, and we're thinking it inside our heads. But it doesn't matter whether we're just thinking it. We don't have to say it out loud. It's still putting that negativity and that negative energy out. And it's still bringing that outcome to us. So What we should be thinking and what we want to be saying out loud is what the desired outcome is that we want. So if I constantly go to a job or sit at my desk at home if I'm working from home and tell myself this job is going to be the death of me, I hate this job, I can't stand this, I can't do this anymore, what's that outcome going to be? Even if it's inside our heads. Well, first we're putting ourselves into that anxious state by saying all of those things to us. And second, we're putting that thought and that idea out into the universe. So we're giving that idea out there, and that's what experience we're going to bring in. We're gonna call in that negative experience from the universe because we're putting that negative energy out there, and even if we never even say it. All right, friends, I see that some of you are on, and the way I've set this up tonight, I am not able to see who has come on, and I'm going to rectify that for next week. But I do wish you all a wonderful, wonderful night. I thank you all for joining. Don't forget that if you are watching the replay, put #replay, #shiftyourmind. All right, friends, I am going to bid you good night and sign off. Have a great night. Take care.